Welcome to the Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions podcast with Brent Bailey. And at the tech booth, Jodi Cook-Bailey and Luke Cardiel. We are growing our circles of connections and knowledge together with encouraging conversations and positive communications. And now, Brent Bailey.
And happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions. It is a great day. How are you doing today? Let us know how things are going on this hump day for you as we've crossed past the lunch hour and we're on the other side of it. And now it's officially on our way out of the work week and we're on our way into the weekend. I know that seems still kind of far away, but this is hump day, so we're over it now, and it's on the downhill side of it. So let's get this party started today. I'm joined right now over at the tech booth by Jodi and Luke. And guys, how are we doing today?
We're doing fine.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I got a great show planned for you today. We have a great guest up
do.
in Canada, one of the best churches in Canada. I mean,
a great church.
It is a great church.
It is.
I think that's just so clever.
Yeah.
The pastors of Great Church Canada. And actually, we're going to have Pastor Carmen Lynne on with us today, Dr. Carmen Lynne. And she's going to be joining us. She's got an exciting new series that she's been doing at the church called How to Still Make 2020 Work in Your Favor and Be a Success for You. So, man, what a relevant and timely message.
Yeah.
So we're going to be having her on here in a little bit. She's an author. She's a speaker. And so we're going to have her out here in just a little bit. So, but before we get started on that, I saw something interesting. We do a lot of research and reading and stuff for the show to kind of get ourselves updated. And keeping with the theme of something that we talk about regularly is food.
Right.
We talk about food a lot on here.
We do.
I feel my
Too
calorie
much.
count's going up.
And it's getting ready to go up again right now because Reese's has released. Okay. First they came out with those big giant the Reese's cups that are like huge, like big around as a coffee cup.
Yeah.
Well, now they've upped that. Okay. They announced yesterday, which let me say this: yesterday was the first day of fall.
It was the
it
first
felt
day of
great
fall.
outside.
It did. I went for a run last night.
Today.
I went for a run last night, and usually you go out and you're just dying because it's Florida humidity.
Right.
And last night I actually just went out with my sweat tank on and was like, it's lined, so I sweat a lot, and so I was, thought that would be enough, and I got through the first lap, and I had chill bumps. I was like, oh my god. What is going on? This is Florida.
I know, but see, do you know what the temperature was? I don't.
It had to be like 70.
Yeah, it was like 70
I
something.
think it's.
But I mean, when you're sweating,
oh yeah,
and you're 70,
and you're used to
it's cold.
85,
yeah.
90 at
Well,
night.
yeah, it all of a sudden went from crazy hot to hey, this is what?
Yeah, nice and moderate. Yeah. So anyway, so in the celebration of the fall, I know a lot of folks eat candy and stuff. Halloween. People have all kinds of views of Halloween. We don't celebrate Halloween, but however, trick-or-treating is one of the greatest things ever.
Right.
And when churches developed those alternatives, wow,
Yeah.
praise the Lord.
Yeah.
That's a great, safe place to get candy. I know there's all kinds
It
of
is.
questions about whether it's going to work this year.
Right.
How's it going to work? You're going to be able to go out because of COVID and what have you.
Yeah.
Well, Hershey's, who owns Reese's, is not making this any easier.
No.
They have announced yesterday a new addition to the Reese's product line is the Reese's Big Cup. Are you ready for this?
Oh no.
With salted caramel and pretzel inside instead of just peanut butter.
I don't know. I mean, that kind of sounds good.
Chocolate, caramel,
See, now,
and pretzel
today
all at
is
once.
a day I would like to try something like that. Today is it.
It's dangerous,
want
folks.
Speaking
today.
of Halloween, did you know that we're gonna have a full moon on Halloween this year?
The stuff, it just keeps...
Oh.
Yeah, the things just keep lining up.
Yeah.
Jesus is coming, folks.
He really is.
I was about to say, I thought you were gonna say Jason is coming.
Yeah, I am too.
He's coming this year, guys. This would be the year, 2020, right?
Oh
would
my
be the
gosh,
year,
it would be.
absolutely.
It's 2020. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool, though. It sounds good to me to have the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup with pretzel miniatures inside and salted caramel.
That's really
Yeah,
that,
it
that's,
does.
that's
It
cool.
sounds
Now,
pretty good.
let me say this because I saw an article about, the CDC is advising do not go trick or treating, don't go outside, but they're giving, not options, but ideas. Stay home, have your family members home, and do a scavenger hunt. With
Around
your
the
kids,
neighborhood?
around the neighborhood. Well, yeah,
Around your home, it's
like
supposed
in
to
the
be.
community that maybe you've been with.
I don't know why you couldn't trunk or treat. Put the candy in your trunk, stand away from it, still socially distanced. People could still do it.
But they want to make sure, and I'll just say this, and I'm sure this won't be the first time I say this. If you feel like your kids are going to dress up, they are advising do not wear a mask underneath
on top of
the
a mask, yeah.
So they're really trying to say, like the plastic masks, they're not going to, they have holes in them, so they're not necessarily going to.
I know you can see behind me. I'm getting ready to do something. I'm going to put something up there real quick. That's
Okay.
going to be my, I'm going to put up my costume that I wore last year.
You know what
Anyway,
they should
yeah.
do though? They should
Let's see if
have
I
it
can
to
do
where the public schools do like a trick or treat thing, and they just go classroom to classroom since it's already they've been in that environment.
It's possible.
Public
it's
schools.
possible.
I don't think the Christian schools would do that.
Probably not.
They have let the kids dress up before, and a lot of times they'll have them dress up as Bible characters.
I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Anyway, I had it up a minute ago, and it was on my screen. See, my computer here feeds the screen behind me, and now I got this stuck on here. So I was going to bring up, it was on my screen had just a second ago my picture from Halloween last year. So, but
I don't remember. What did you...
I was Negan.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, you've been Negan.
Multiple times,
Right,
but last
yeah.
year was perfect.
Yeah, last
it was
year
a good,
was good.
I got stopped in the neighborhood last year. People wouldn't take pictures and all kinds of stuff. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
I might have
Anyway,
been a zombie.
I think last year, remember you sat in front of the house and handed out candy.
I did, and I got ate up by mosquitoes.
Me and the boys
It was
walked
awful.
the neighborhood. So
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Anyway, we'll
all
move
right, we
on.
got to move on. All right, a couple things. I also saw today that if your kids are still doing virtual school, and I know a lot of schools are starting to head back to in-person learning, but there is a really good article in USA Today about affordable computers, because I know a lot of folks are really putting out or
They
don't have
are,
the money to put
yeah.
out for a computer. And there is a really good article online, USA Today, that has some really good laptops just built specifically for online learning that are less than $200.
That's great.
So, things like the
Yeah.
Chromebook, and they're also recommended buying refurbished ones that still come with the warranty, that kind of thing. It's a real handy thing. So
You see,
something
what I was kind of curious, I was thinking about this last night, is that I think this has really shown us, this whole pandemic and the situation has shown us that the internet really should be treated like a utility. I think so.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
think about this, think about how many kids or parents would like to keep their kids at home but probably don't have internet.
It's true. It is true. It's true.
There are a
Yep.
lot of families that don't have
And I know there's a lot of churches out there that have opened up their youth areas for the kids to kind of. They're not there to tutor. They're there to kind of babysit.
Sort of, yeah.
With an
yeah.
area that they can do their homework and have a lot of free
Or
Wi-Fi.
teenage sit.
Free Wi-Fi. Yeah. So there's a
They
lot of
won't
churches that are
include
doing that. It's a great outreach for folks. So that's one alternative. I know the libraries and things like that
Right.
are saying you can come sit in the parking lot and
Yeah.
use our
The
Wi-Fi.
schools are too.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be horrible. Sit in the parking lot all day trying to do school.
Yeah, I can't even imagine
Oh,
that.
man.
So,
That's terrible.
all right. So today is in celebration of fall. It's the autumn equinoxes today.
Right.
Okay.
So that means if you put an egg on its edge, it'll stand up straight, right? You know what that means?
I don't.
Because it's where the Earth is kind of stopped tilting one way and is getting ready to start to tilt back the other way.
Is that real?
Right.
And so the gravity is supposed to be
Oh, that's
even
interesting. Probably.
on the equinox. There's two of them a year, two
Yeah.
times a year where the gravity's equal.
So should I feel?
I don't know. We tried it
Should I
before.
stand on one leg
I've
and
actually
see?
done it with the egg on the equinox in science class, where you
I was
could
going to
stand
say
it
the
up and it
kids
wouldn't-
should do that when they get home. We should.
So anyway,
so
today is the Equinox Day. It's also National Checkers Day and Dogs in Politics Day.
Yes,
Dogs in
exactly.
I don't know what that means, but is that like famous politicians? Dog? I don't know.
I don't either. I haven't gotten to that.
But it's also
part.
Checkers Day, so you can play around at checkers.
Yeah.
Isn't there a dog in the White House
Every year, yeah.
Every year,
I don't know if the Trumps have one or not.
Political pooches are recognized,
Yeah.
or candidate canines, first Fidos, or revolutionary roars.
There you go. Today is also National Great American Pot Pie Day.
Oh, really?
I guess we'll know what we're having for dinner tonight. KFC, we will be there about 6:30. So, National Snack Stick Day.
Yeah.
And Teal Talk Day. Is that why I'm wearing this shirt? Is that
I guess it is.
Sort of.
Wear your favorite. I love that color.
And then lastly, Restless Legs Awareness Day.
Oh, yeah.
This is Jodi in bed every night about 2:30. So
that might be why my feet.
this is the day we get to
sometimes.
make that awareness of it. So
Yeah, we're
Hey,
letting everybody
happy
know.
Restless Leg Day, Jodi.
all right, so that's what's going on in the country today. We have got a great show planned for you and a great guest. I'm so excited to have her on the program today. I had the pleasure of meeting her and her husband at the Increase events in Hawaii. And she is a pastor, an author. She has a doctorate degree in counseling. She conducts Increase events in the USA, Mexico, Haiti, Australia, and Canada. She is very witty. She's very funny. She's got a really great personality. And she has started a series at her church with her husband, Steve, entitled How You Can Really Still Use 2020 to Your Advantage. And so I'm so pleased to have with me today Dr. Pastor Carmen Lynne. Hey, Carmen, how are you?
I'm doing good. Good to be with you today.
It is such a pleasure to have you, and we just love you and Steve, and just it's always great to see you guys. So first of all, let's ask. When I saw you last, it was 85 degrees. We were in Hawaii. You and Steve were at the Increase event, but how has it been since you got back, and what was COVID like up there in Canada, and how's everything been going?
Well, we've actually had the best weather out of any year ever. And so when no one could travel somewhere to get a suntan, the sun came to us. And so that part was actually pretty good.
How often does that happen up there? I mean,
Canada's not very often. So right? It was really awesome.
Yeah, I know that it's usually cold up there. I know they call it the Great White North, but where you are, I mean, what is a high in the summer times usually there?
Well, normally not as good as this year, but this year we actually got up to 35 degrees Celsius. So I don't know what that is Fahrenheit, but I definitely got a tan in my own country.
The tan in your own country. Somebody at the tech booth needs to look that up. 35 degrees Celsius would come up to what? I have no idea. So
but we do get to minus 40 degrees Celsius too.
Oh, that makes me feel.
So about 95 Fahrenheit would be like our great day.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. That's a normal fall day in Florida. So.
Well, I got a tan.
Well, that's so awesome. So we talked a few weeks ago, and you told me about your series that you started, How to Make 2020 Still Work to Your Advantage. And that is so, I don't know what the right word is. I guess foundation shaking for people, because right now so many people have just cashed this year in and have totally just decided, I'm done with it. Some people are already celebrating New Year's and already decided they're going to 2021 early. What I obviously know what kind of led to that, but can you talk about what was the heart behind getting started there?
Well, before COVID started at the beginning of the year, we really believed that God spoke a strong word to us that, 2020, this year, he was going to reveal to people who they really were on the inside. And there would be this releasing of a brand new person in them. Well, God doesn't make mistakes. He isn't surprised of what's going on in the world. So the word that he spoke is still the word today. And yes, we've had lots of people say, I wish 2020 was just erased and, that it hadn't even happened. But there are other people that we're hearing, they're saying, this has been my best year ever so far. And so we began to just glean from that, so that I believe God wants to take everyone where we finished this year strong, and we have victory stories. We have incredible things that have happened, that we have good memories from 2020 still.
Wow. This is Carmen Lynne. She's a pastor in Canada with her husband Steve at Great Church Canada, greatchurch.ca. Carmen, what are some steps that people can be taking in order to turn 2020 around?
Well, I kind of thought about different areas of people's lives, right? And so an example of, for single people, if they're single right now, we did a series called Great Lover. And if they're single right now, what a great time to be preparing to be married. Like if they're looking for someone, they want to get married, that they can actually, they have extra time on their hands right now. They can start self-developing. They can start preparing to maybe work off some of the rough edges of their personality, or learning different traits that can, character traits that can take them forward to be a great wife or a great husband. That's one of the ways of the preparation for that. And then with married couples, same thing. It's that right now you don't have all the demands just pulling on you all the time in different directions. You have a little more time. What a great time to be dating your spouse, making an investment into your marriage, drawing on each other, learning each other's love languages and meeting each other's needs kind of thing. You could come out of this year and be like, wow, we're so much stronger as a couple than we have ever been before. Even in the midst of what the world says is chaos, you're advancing in those areas of your life. And I believe that, continues to go through every area of our life. As people talk about, their walk as a Christian. Well, right now you have more time. Like, learn how to pray, learn how to connect, learn how to be more intimate with God. And I know my husband just released a new book called Excited to Pray. And it's really, just helping people to take this time in this season to be able to develop that intimate connection with God.
So as we're talking here, and we're going to get to Pastor Steve's book in just a second, what I'm hearing you say is some people could listen to that title and say, okay, so that means everything's just going to change. But you're saying in the face of negative things or changes to what our day-to-day is, we have an opportunity to build something out of that. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely. Like, we have this amazing opportunity. Normally life is just so busy, right? Like, everyone always complains, my life is so busy, my life is so busy, my life is so busy. And all of a sudden things kind of slow down a bit. Well, in that slowing down, we can complain and say, well, 2020 is a write-off. Or we can say, you know what, I can seize the moment. I can seize the moment to develop. I can seize the moment to get close to God. I can seize the moment to prepare myself. I can seize the moment to, get closer to my spouse. Like, we are in a time frame that there is a moment that we could seize for self-development that I believe could go down in history, where we look back at 2020 and say, that was my best year. That was the year that, I came into a new person. I came into some new traits in my life that took me forward into great success.
Yeah, I know that's kind of what we did here with this podcast. It has obviously Orlando got hit fairly hard, and we weren't able to go and be in the office every day and have normal church things every day. So this kind of developed out of that. And I hear what you're saying, that you still have time. There's still a lot of things that are not normal, and that you could actually reach up and make a difference in that. So now let's get to your husband's new book. Pastor Steve wrote a book. It's called Excited to Pray, and we had a picture of it up on the screen just a second ago. And we're going to have Steve on to talk about it even more in depth. But I know that right now praying for people has almost been like a panic expression. But this is something that we should be excited to do, right?
Right. And I think that the concept too is not just of like, oh, I got to work myself up to get excited to pray. It's like, no, there's keys that will make you excited. If you start seeing some answers to your prayers, guess what? You're getting pretty excited, right? And so it's awesome because it just puts that experience into your life. And I believe right now, in the midst of chaos, God wants to give people some great experiences.
So good. So we're so excited. We can't wait to have Steve on to to really give us a real deep insight to the book. But it's available right now on Amazon and wherever books are sold, I think, too. If you can go to their website, greatchurch.ca, you can pick up a copy of it as well. And then you also have a book. Now, I know it's might have been out for a little bit of time, but your book is called Raising Increased Kids, or something to that effect. And let's talk about that, because in this, as I was getting ready for this myself, I was saying that not only can you turn 2020 to your favor, but your book actually talks about training your kids, for what you want them to be in the future, for financial success and things like that. And so the message that I'm hearing from you, Carmen, is that you can always be planning to the future no matter what's going on around you.
Right. And I think one of the things that's cool about raising kids of increase is that right now people are having to spend more time teaching their kids or spending time educating them, because they're locked out at home, or things aren't the same as they used to be. They're not on the same sports teams or this or that. They have to try to keep their kids busy. And so this is a great time. Why not train your kids to financially succeed? Why not teach them the right principles that can set them up to actually be able to make money and do really well financially? But I've also had a lot of people who don't have kids, they're single or they're married, and they love the book too. So it's not just for people with kids. I think that sometimes we missed out on things that maybe our parents could have taught us, but they just didn't know. And so sometimes we have to train ourselves to increase as well, right?
That's right.
And so it's good for parents, but really it's good for anyone that's taking this moment, seizing the opportunity to self-develop, so that, when the economy all of a sudden opens up, you're ready to make money. You're ready to move forward into greater increase.
So good. Now, it says there's 41 steps there. Can you give us a sneak peek of one?
Well, one of the steps talks about, who's in your life, the environment of the relationships you have, and who's speaking into your life. What words are they saying? Are you in a positive environment, a negative environment? Are they people who have a mindset of increase, or are they people who are, trying to tell you what can't be done all the time? That's just one of the things. The chapters are really short so that people can, get through them and have the opportunity to kind of mull them over. But one of those chapters is on who gets to speak into your life? Whose voices are you hearing?
So good. So good. So, Pastor Carmen, before we let you go, first of all, I do want to thank you for taking the time to be with us today. But we have allowed time in our shows to allow the guests to really encourage our audience. This podcast was birthed out of a lot of fear that people had, and there was so much negativity going on. And when we did the first show, it was just like, let's just go on for a few minutes and let's just encourage everybody and just try and give them a break from this tidal wave of negativity. And so we want to give you just a minute to just encourage our audience. So by all means, take your liberty.
Well, I do want to encourage you today as you're watching on this show that I don't think coincidences happen or accidents happen, so you're watching for a purpose. And I believe that God has spoke a word that this year can be your best year, that he looks onto the inside of you, and he's not seeing the mistakes you've made or the chaos that might even be around you. He's looking deep into the inside of you, and he sees who you really are. And he looks at you and he sees the success you're going to be. He sees the influencer that you're going to be. He sees how he's going to be able to use this time, this story of your life to be able to encourage other people as well. And so when God looks at you, he sees the real you, and his DNA is on the inside of you. And so success is already on the inside of you. Increase is already on the inside of you. A great character is already on the inside of you. And so I encourage you that in this time frame, allow God to bring that out of you. Allow yourself the opportunity to study, to develop, to strengthen your strengths, to work on some of your weaknesses, and to bring yourself up to be this person that God has already designed you to be. And so I want to encourage you that 2020 can still be a great, great year for you, that God's hand is on you in an incredible way, and that he has not left you, and that he is actually rooting for you. And I believe the Holy Spirit will come around your life, and he will help develop this greatness that's inside of you. And this greatness is going to go forth. And I believe it will change the world that you live in.
Amen. Pastor Carmen Lynne, everybody, thank you so much for taking the time to come and be on our show today. If you'd like to reach out to Pastor Carmen and Steve on their social media accounts or on the web, right there it is on the screen, greatchurch.ca. On Facebook and Instagram, it's Carmen Steve Lynn. And on the YouTube, they also have a YouTube channel. It's Dr. Stephen Lynn. And if you go to, I believe it's stephenlynn.ca, it goes right to the YouTube page. Man, thank you so much for coming and being with us today, Pastor Carmen. It really is always a pleasure to see you and experience you in Pastor Steve's ministry. We love you guys. We hope to see you again at one of the Increase events real soon. And,
Thank you.
And you have a great rest of your day, and give our love to Pastor Steve.
I will. Thank you very much.
All right. That's Pastor Carmen Lynne, everybody. Thanks so much again for being on the program. There it is, greatchurch.ca on the web, Instagram, and Facebook, at Carmen Steve Lynn, and Dr. Stephen Lynn on YouTube. We're going to have him on here in the near future to talk about his book, Excited to Pray, and it's going to be always a great show. Coming up Friday on the program, I have got another great show for you. I have got my good friend from over in Daytona Beach. It is Pastor Chris Sarno. He's got a brand new book that just released called Obtainable. And you think, what is he talking about? It's talking about the principles of faith to make things obtainable in your life. You'll not want to miss that. Chris is a great friend of ours and has a great church, Relevant Church in Daytona Beach, Florida. Coming up next week on the program, we have got all kinds of great things that are just in the wings, if you will, planning for shows coming up. But one of the things I can't let you in on right now is I've got a former George Bush impersonator for Jay Leno, Jimmy Fallon, and many of the other late night shows. He is right here in Orlando, and he's going to be with us on the program. And you think, what is he doing now? He is absolutely just treading water, but he's also ministering to people. John Morgan's going to be with us to talk about his podcast and his new show and his life as a President Bush impersonator. And you're going to kind of trip a little bit when you see him, because you'd swear that President Bush is sitting here with us. So it's really going to be great. We've got some other guests planned. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. But Friday, I hope that you'll come and join me, just like always. For Pastor Stephen and Carmen Lynne, my thanks to them for coming and being on the program. To Jodi and Luke, great job, guys. Another great program. We will see you Friday. We love you. Have a great rest of your day, and we hope that you found what you were looking for as you took the time to expand your search and stop for directions. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @ExpandingYourSearch on Facebook and Instagram, and @ExpandingSearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We're available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take some time today to expand your search and stop for directions. Thanks for joining us today.